Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome to my English class. I'm Carlos Pimentel, I'm an English teacher, and here I am to give you some ideas on must. It's going to be a very brief explanation, okay? So let's pay attention. Must. Must is in the category of a modal verb. What's a modal verb anyway? Modal verb is a kind of verb that express many things. So for example, it can express probability, ability, can use to give suggestions and everything else. In this case, must is used to express obligation and necessity. For example, we have here an image of a kid, in the classroom. So students, he's a student. So students must pay attention to the class. Students must pay attention to the class, which means it's their obligation to pay attention. So I can use this modal verb must to give this idea. Analyze the sentence, we can conclude there is a structure to be followed. Have subject plus must plus verb. Subject plus must plus verb. Here students is a subject, must, here we have the modal verb, and then the verb pay. This verb is an infinitive without the particle to. You don't say students must to pay attention. No, students must pay attention. I must pay attention. You must pay attention. He or she must pay attention. Okay, very easy to use, huh? Another thing to consider about must is that it can also be used when the speaker is in a position of authority. For example, we have here father and a son, and the father says, "You must clean your bedroom." Okay, you must clean. It's your obligation to clean your bedroom. Yeah. So if it were like I would say, I must clean my bedroom. He must clean his bedroom. She must clean her bedroom, etc. Well, what about the negative form? Well, when we study modal verbs and verb tenses, we should study the affirmative, negative, and interrogative form. The negative form of must is must not. Well, but must not is used for prohibitions, okay? We have must not, very emphatic, and mustn't, not so emphatic, but yet a prohibition. Example, students mustn't use their mobiles in class. If you are in the street, okay, a policeman could say, you mustn't run through the red light. It's prohibited, okay? So, or you must not run through the red light, all right? So, negative form, must not. But if you want to express non-obligation or non-necessity, we use have to and need to in negative forms. In this case, we use the simple present pattern, the simple present structure. For example, we have here a calendar, January 1st, Sunday, yeah? So let's consider these examples are said by a woman. It says, oh, it's a holiday. I don't have to get up early. And my husband doesn't need to go to work. Yeah? So it's a holiday. Yeah, I don't have, observe the simple present, don't have to, give you an idea of non-obligation. And my husband doesn't need to go. Need is the verb precisar in Portuguese, so it doesn't need to go to work. But teacher, why is it doesn't? No, don't. Oh, because it is the third person of singular. Pay attention here, okay? My husband, third person of singular. So use does. Negative form, doesn't. Doesn't, in this case, verb need. Oh, you could use have to. My husband doesn't have to go to work. Be okay, right? Yeah. So, how about the question, interrogative form? All right, interrogative form. Must is rarely used for questions. To ask a question about an obligation or necessity, we use have to. The same verb we used before in the negative form, remember? Also need to is possible. Yeah. Example, Do I have to bring my student book for class? Yeah? Do I have, I mean, am I obligated to bring, is it necessary to bring my student book for class? Of course, student, of course you do. Do I have to bring? So we have the simple present explanation. And then, but attention, it's possible to use must in question when it's a question word, a WH word. What, for example, what, who, where, when. So what, in this case, we invert must. What must we study today? Okay. What must we study today? Interrogative form. All right, friends. So this explanation was brief, was short, I know, yeah, but you can refer to other videos and your grammar books to have further practice. All right. Thank you very much for your attention. Take care. Live long and prosper. See you around.